I'm digging deeper into my John Ford / John Wayne collection that I acquired at the thrift shop a couple of weeks back. Today I sat down and watched a 1957 color film, The Wings of Eagles, directed by John Ford, 110-minute runtime. This movie is that sweet spot of color films, just like the last film that I reviewed of John Ford's. Donovan's Reef was the one that I reviewed just before this. The late 50s, early 60s, the color has just such a awesome, it's like unreal, the way color film, you can see a color film and know the time period by the way that it looks. Again, Ford is a master of laying out the scene and the pan. This movie was not very well received by the critics. I didn't take too many notes. I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip. This is a 2006 DVD copy from Turner Classic Movies, and it has played on the channel before based off a lot of the reviews that I've seen. A lot of people's foray into this film was seeing it on Turner Classic Movies. So this movie only had a 40% Rotten Tomato critic average, which I think is terrible. The audience average, only 2,500 people reporting in, 57%. IMDb 6.6 out of 10. But you know what? I am 4 out of 5. We have John Wayne in a very serious role, and I realized how good of an actor he is. He gets paralyzed at one point in the movie, and this is when, to me, you see his acting prowess, and the waterworks were rolling, and he's in a naval hospital in San Diego. He is portraying a real-life Navy veteran, a guy named Frank W. Weed, who went by Spig, and he ended up becoming a Hollywood screenwriter in the 30s, late 20s, early 30s, after he suffered a debilitating injury with a trip and fall down the stairs. Be careful on the stairs. He was an aspiring naval aviator and commander, and then his Navy career got cut short, and he went into the hospital wallowing in self-pity. And you just kind of see, this is a biopic, right? So it starts in the post-World War I era, right after the war, and works its way up to World War II era. So it's a slice of this guy's life, this Frank W. Weed and all of his Navy buddies around him. It's a great, it has comedic moments just like Donovan's Reef. It's a little campy, a little bit cheesy. But overall, as I watch this movie, it gives me feelings of my grandfather. And, you know, he was in the Navy in the 50s during the Korean War. And I feel like this is a movie he probably saw and enjoyed. I believe another John Ford film, Mr. Roberts, was one of my grandfather's favorite movies. And he had very few VHS tapes, as I said in other videos, but he had a copy of Mr. Roberts. This kind of fits in that similar vein. It's a little more, there's a little more romance in it than I think my grandfather would have enjoyed. There's some historical inaccuracies, which I'm not going to get into. But overall, I really enjoyed it. It did drag on a little bit, almost 2 hours. I was kind of looking at the watch. But for the most part, I was happy with the acting. I was happy with the ensemble cast. We got, what is her name? I think it's Maureen O'Hara. It's just a great cast. It's a fun movie. They take some creative liberties with this real life guy. But again, I see John Wayne as a serious actor, especially when you see him get injured in the film. Sorry, spoiler alert, I ruined it. The life-inspired story of reckless, fun-loving, romantic Spig Weed's squadron commander. So I don't really have any more to add about it. It's just an enjoyable film. And if you're a fan of World War II movies or a fan of John Wayne or the directorial works of John Ford, check it out. Let me know in the comments section if you enjoyed this film too or what your thoughts are on it. Until next time, we'll see you then.